C wreck was pretty nasty because he went right into the track, and then Barry nowhere to go. Oh, they have fans in Winnipeg.
Okay, there we go.
What the hell? Oh, 1-0 Montreal.
Check 1 2. Check 1 2. Ryan, what's up?
1967. What's up?
All right, that's good to go.
Oh, 2-0 Montreal. Wow. Let's see. Oh, nice pass. What's up, dude? Big game tomorrow night there, AJ.
Yeah.
Take control of the series. I still think that's going 7 games.
That's ready to go. Oh, the only window I don't have up is that one.
My sexy good looks. Yeah, finally got some rain here today, which is much needed.
Same here.
Yeah, definitely needed. Shifley.
Ryan, that TV's got to come down.
Still? Dang.
Yeah, I can't get copyright stroke.
Copyright.
Otherwise, we do no more shows.
101.5.
All right, you ready to go? What's up, Patrick?
Hey, Patrick.
Shotgun start. Here we go.
Hi, Tony.
All right, here we go.
Oh, jeez.
Gentlemen, start your engines! I guess I'm out of control.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to episode 101 of the Loose Lugs podcast. I am your host, AJ, and we are back to our normal staff this week. With me, as always, my co-host, Ryan.
Making my dreams come true. What's up, AJ?
Hey, what's going on, Ryan? I see you're already taking shots at people in our chat right now.
Oh, I'm not doing anything by that necessary, so
You know what's funny about all that is
What's up?
they get to join you on the couch as well.
That's right. I'm enjoying it. I'm on a nice, comfy couch right now, getting ready to. We're live as we speak, man. Yeah, everything's good, man. How was the Memorial holiday?
It was good. It was a much needed extra couple days off because I took some vacation time with it, but it was all good.
Very nice, very nice. Yeah, went to the took my brother to the dirt track Saturday night. Him and I went dirt track racing Saturday. Little chilly at the dirt track once that sun went down, but still a hell of a time. Saw some great racing. One of the drivers was from our hometown, which was awesome to see up in the UP. So yeah, definitely had a lot of fun. Met some cool people along the way and had a blast.
Very nice, very nice.
Yes.
Saw the weekend ended a little bit early for you.
Yeah. Unfortunately, the missus she was under the weather a little bit, and then Logan's got eczema really really bad. It happened this morning. On his ankles, it looked like he had just like ripped his skin off, like how bad it is. But he got into the doctor today. They got him on an antibiotic and a stronger steroid cream and a different kind of hand soap. So hopefully it works out for him in the long run. But yeah, we ended up leaving on Sunday, which was a little bit of a blessing in disguise, I guess. But got to see my dad for a little while. Got Logan a checker flag. He's already waving it around. I'm gonna post it onto the Twitter page here after we're done recording tonight, so everybody can see Logan in his checkered flag.
Very good, very good. So you mentioned some playoff talk, and
oh yeah,
we're gonna talk a little bit of playoffs here. So, my team's still in it. Your team's not.
Yeah.
A good buddy of ours, Tony, who comes to our YouTube chat all the time during the show, his team lost another heartbreaker.
Yep. I don't know what to say about Toronto. You figure with the talent that they have on that team that they should have beaten Montreal, but like Tony said, the better team won Game 7 on Monday night, and Montreal just came out with that energy as they're doing right now with the Winnipeg, even though Winnipeg's been off for 8 or 9 days thanks to Edmonton.
Yeah, it's gonna take a couple days to get their skating legs together, I think.
Yep. So, but yeah, definitely a good first round of the Stanley Cup playoffs.
I couldn't complain. We took care of Washington last Sunday or 2 Sundays ago, and that was nice. Saturday was Game 1 at the Garden, and that place was rocking. Took the 5-2 win there, and lost on a tough heartbreaker in overtime Monday night.
Bad bounce. Definitely a bad bounce.
But Jeremy Lauzon has played absolutely awful this series so far, so I wasn't surprised by the culprit of the bad bounce.
Yeah, it's what you need, and especially in overtime playoff hockey, those bounces to go your way. And for the Islanders, it did, and Cizikas, I think, who got the game winner.
Yeah, Cizikas got the game winner, and now we're going back to the Islanders, where for 2 games, and I don't know, this is what I didn't want to happen.
Oh yeah,
I can feel a 3-1 coming back home against Boston here.
Yep. But it could also be 3-1 Boston coming back to TD Garden too.
I don't know. Didn't win a single game there during the regular season.
Oh, he didn't? Oh,
nope.
Nassau Coliseum, the House of Horrors.
Yep. So, it's cool that they're playing on Long Island again.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Instead of the Barclays Center, that place was absolutely terrible for hockey. It was one of the worst decisions. Because if you go on, you can do on these the searches now, like you do. I did Barclays Center view for hockey, and they got all these images, and one of them behind the net was an obstructed view you couldn't see, but they were paying top end dollar for these tickets, and I'm like, there's no way in hell I'd pay that.
No, the Barclays Center's not made for hockey, and that was a dumb decision to put them there in that arena.
Yep. Glad they're back. Glad they're back at Nassau Coliseum, but I guess they have a new arena next year ready to go.
Yeah, we'll see how that goes.
Yep. We'll see.
They're also playing that carousel of goalies right now too. So it was Sorokin in Game 1, and then Varlamov Game 2.
Yep.
So we'll see if they go back with Sorokin Game 3. I don't know, but nonetheless, hockey talk.
Yeah,
Loose
gotta
Lugs
love it.
Podcast.
Hockey talk. Yeah. Colorado looked pretty good against Vegas on what was it, Sunday night?
Colorado's a buzzsaw, man. That team's
Yeah.
gonna rip through these playoffs.
They had a touchdown.
Tampa's up 2-0 in their series against Carolina, so that
Going back to Tampa too. So.
I think that's a clean sweep there. I don't think Carolina's got much left for Tampa, but who knows? They could surprise you.
Yeah, that's why you got to play the games though. So.
But I mean, either way, then one of us is gonna have to run into the buzzsaw that is the Lightning. So
Yep.
it's not a fun time right now.
Oh, it is. What can you do? So. But hey, it's on. It's entertaining as all hell right now. The crowds have been fantastic. Now it looks like they got some people in the stands in Winnipeg right now, which is nice to see. So definitely it's on the right track, is what I meant to say.
Yeah, no, I agree with that. We had the Indy 500 on Sunday, and that was
Yes, we did.
That was a pretty entertaining race. There wasn't any bad incidents that happened except for Graham Rahal, who's coming off a pit road, and this is what I don't. Someone's got to be fired after that, because the man is coming off pit road. Literally, it's not like it's a lap later. He is coming off a pit road, going into turn one. As soon as he hits the turn, rear wheel flies off. That car goes spinning up into the wall. I think the tire hit another car.
Yeah, Connor Daly. They have an onboard camera. Connor Daly has this tire because he's doing 220, 225 in the turn, and here comes this tire. Need to do a change of underwear after that.
Oh yeah, and no, bad break for him. It was cool to see Connor Daly though leading.
The
earlier
crowd was
on.
nuts. Yes.
But yeah, so you got one job as a pit crew, changing tires, and it's to secure that one lug nut you got.
Well, especially an Indy car, that's all your tires. You have that one particular tire, not both rear tires or not both front tires. You have one tire to make sure you take it off and you put one on and you tighten it up.
Yeah, so that brings me to the question of I wonder what's happening next year with the Cup Series going to one lug. Oh, this could be fun.
I still don't like that. I mean, yeah, I still don't like it. But hey, you know what? Unfortunately we were on our way home during the Indy 500, but I ended up rewatching it, actually skimming through some of it. But how about that crowd at the Brickyard?
Yeah, it was good to see fans back there again.
Loud, and and it looked like they were all enjoying themselves, which was awesome to see. And yeah, how about that Helio Castroneves, eh?
Castroneves, and what I believe that's a part-time ride, isn't it, for him?
Yes, yeah. I think he was going to run. I'm not sure exactly how many more races, but like you said, it was a part-time gig though, and it was cool to see him win his 4th Indy 500. And then all the garage or the paddock coming out congratulating him. Roger Penske, who let him go for younger drivers, giving him a hug in victory lane, which was kind of cool.
Winning at Penske's track.
Yep. I bet you know what he had a few choice words to say there to Mr. Penske.
Nice little jab there. It was pretty.
Oh
cool.
yeah, yep.
Then we had the Dixon Rossi incident. Scott Dixon and Alexander Rossi having the same issue.
Yep.
You had Rossi waving to Dixon to let's go, because they were a lap down. I don't know if they ever got their lap back.
I don't think they did.
But yeah, IndyCar is always fun to watch. Indy 500.
Yeah.
It's like even if you don't watch any other race that year, that's the one you got to watch.
Some of their other tracks that they go to are pretty fun to watch as well. I know not this weekend, but next weekend they're running the doubleheader down on Belle Isle in Detroit. They're running in downtown Nashville too. That's going to be interesting to see. And then Laguna Seca, I like that, and the streets of Long Beach.
Yeah. So IndyCar's got some fun ones. We're watching the iRacing Pro Invitational, whatever it is called, running right now from the streets of Chicago.
Interesting track, by the way. Interesting layout, I would say.
Yeah, I don't know how true to style it would be if NASCAR ever ran there. personally wouldn't look forward to it myself.
Yeah, no, neither would I. So, anyways, yesterday the wife and I are at the store, and I don't know if you guys remember last weekend we had our good friends EG3 and Dalton Good on last weekend,
Yes, sir.
and Dalton did a review on the Skittles gummies. Well, I so happened to found some at the store the other day, so I will be trying these during the show tonight.
But yeah, they're pretty good. I had them last
Yes.
week. They're pretty tasty.
Yes. See, I love Skittles, but they're just that too hard to. I got bad teeth anyway as it is, so that's beside the point. I always loved the gummy bears, the the Swedish fish, all that good stuff.
Patrick said he's watching that Craven. No, but he brought up a great point with like the normal Skittles are hard and these ones are just like that same Skittles flavor, and it's
right.
It's easy on the teeth.
That is always a good thing because I look like a hockey player. Oh, here we go. Oh wow. Mm-hmm.
Pretty good, huh?
Well, yeah, it definitely tastes like a Skittle.
All right, while you munch away, let's get into some gas and go and recap the race weekend.
All right.
Gas and Go is where we go over what happened on the prior race weekend, and we had all three series in action this weekend. Kicking things off, we had the Camping World Truck Series where John Hunter Nemechek got the win. What seems like it's overpowering that win for him was the Johnny Sauter crash there.
Yes.
And spotters were complaining all day that it was really hard to see some of the trucks that were running, trucks and cars that were running up against the wall, coming through that tri-oval there.
Yeah.
And not many of the spotters saw a slower truck up there, and it turned out pretty bad for Sauter. He hits it full speed, and completely tears the right side of that truck right off the car or the truck.
Yeah, I was up at the in-laws Friday night. Unfortunately, they don't have FS1, and everybody's on Twitter like, "Oh, I'm so happy that Johnny's getting out of the truck." Everything, And then I finally get to see the replay of it though, and like they've even said though that like you said, the spotters couldn't see anything up against the wall there. Maybe that's something they can work on with this renovations that they're getting for all these racetracks. Do something about that for the spotters so they can see the entire track. Because that could have been much worse than what it already was, and it was pretty serious. So, luckily, it wasn't driver's side; it was passenger side. And I heard a lot of people talking about how long it took the safety team to get to the incident.
Yeah, I mean, the fact that Sauter got out was great, and it, like we always say, it says a lot about the safety to, how far we've come. I mean, you've had some pretty bad crashes in the past. You had Bodine, Daytona, where all you see is him inside the car like a rag doll, really, just hanging on for the ride.
Yeah.
Just the sheer fact that safety's come such a long way is such a big deal, because that could have been way worse than what it was.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, definitely. And, like you said, this innovations with his cars. I know from what I saw that they took the truck immediately to the R&D center for to see what we could do better with the truck from it, destroying the entire side where we see the roll cage of the driver. So hopefully they can figure out what happened there to cause that, and we can get even more safety in these trucks.
For sure. And I put on here as a bullet point Sheldon Creed wrecked, who was my pick to win the race. Was leading, won a stage in that one,
Yes.
got collected up.
I forgot who I picked.
I believe you picked Ankrum.
I think I did too, but I'm gonna go check here my notes.
Stage winners in the truck race: first stage Sheldon Creed, second stage Zane Smith, and race winner John Hunter Nemechek. It's really becoming the truck series right now. It's KBM versus everybody else again. I know we had a couple of years where it wasn't like that there, but John Hunter putting that truck back into victory lane again. Speaking
of which, EG3 picked John Hunter Nemechek.
That he did.
I do have the results right here. I had Ankrum, you had Creed, and Dalton had Matt Crafton.
Yeah. Top 5, John Hunter Nemechek, Carson Hosaver, Ben Rhodes, Stuart Friesen, as I'm getting some sort of weird thing popping up on my computer. Todd Gilliland, round out your top 5. Standings are John Hunter Nemechek, Ben Rhodes, Sheldon Creed, Todd Gilliland, Austin Hill, Zane Smith, Matt Crafton, Stuart Friesen, Grant Infinger, and Carson Hosaver. Next race is Texas Motor Speedway. It's going to be next Friday, or next Saturday, 1 o'clock p.m. Eastern on FS1. I don't think I have that right. I think I might have mixed 2 different races there. That doesn't seem right.
Let me double check. Camping World Truck Series.
It is Saturday at 1 o'clock.
Yep. Really quickly, I want to touch on John Hunter Nemechek real quickly. I think we may have brought this up, but what a great move it is for him to go. He was in the Cup Series and all that. To go back down to the Truck Series, get this experience in a good team with Kyle Busch Motorsports. Who knows, something comes along next year or a few years from now, and maybe he's in a better Cup ride than what he was when he was up in the Cup level.
He saw the opportunity. It's a little bit less money being in the Truck Series, but it's starting back at your roots. It's getting in the Toyota program. It can only be beneficial for him going forward.
Exactly. And I thought it was a great move to start with at the beginning of the year. And how many wins now? 4, 5?
I think that might have been his 3rd. I believe it might have been his 3rd.
All right. Yeah, but good. Look, a smart move on his. Good business decision on his end, and it's working out.
Yeah, I mean, for both parties. Like I said, it's been a minute since Kyle Busch Motorsports was consistently in the victory lane for the Truck Series. So, John Hunter, he's put him back there. Yep. Good to see, and we'll see how we go moving forward. That is his 3rd win, by the way. Confirmed.
Oh, is it? I looked it up. All right.
On Saturday, we had the Xfinity Series where Ty Gibbs overcomes a couple different incidents, including one where he spun around to get the win on a completely unsponsored car, except for a couple different spots on the quarter panels. Ty Gibbs continued to impress.
Yeah, and he slid through the. Funny how he spun out early in the race. Across the what at 99 tracks is grass. Not at Charlotte. It's that beautiful, nice AstroTurf or synthetic grass or whatever we're calling it now. Doesn't damage his car. Look what happens. Ends up in victory lane.
Yeah, and I think we're going to see more tracks start going to the synthetic grass, and it's going to be it's going to be a better outcome than watching a car get in through the trial of grass, digging into the ground with a splitter, and completely ruining their day on a basic spin.
Wasn't it Atlanta where Josh Berry missed the pit and went into the grass and got all the air? Was that Atlanta?
Yeah, completely destroyed his car.
Yeah, it was terrible. Yeah, if that would have happened at Charlotte, he'd have been fine.
Yeah. And really, Ryan, this race, it didn't have many bullet points to talk about, but there were some pretty big wrecks in this race.
Yes.
A couple different ones that took out multiple cars. I know Josh Berry was in one of them that completely destroyed that front end of that race car.
Yeah, he hit driver's side too on the Ryan Sieg machine, the 39. I just saw the highlights of that, and unbelievable that both those guys were able to walk away, and Barry did the interview. And it was also the driver's only broadcast too.
Yeah, which Joey Logano's screaming is damn ear piercing sometimes, man.
Watch out for the what's it called? The drone.
Yeah, watch out for the drone, and every time a car got loose, whoa, oh my gosh. Settle down, sir.
Yes, really. Take the 3 cups of coffee you had, and minus those.
What I thought was funny was they had just got there after post qualifying, like it was right after qualifying.
Yeah.
And you see Stenhouse and was it Austin Dillon going to the
No, Keselowski.
Keselowski going to the studio for it, and they're showing up in their driver in their fire suits, and
Oh yeah.
oh, they didn't waste no time getting there.
I bet not.
Ty Gibbs, his winning that night didn't end there. He went on to win the ARCA race too,
Yeah,
which is the ARCA series. The ARCA series has pretty much become the Ty Gibbs Invitational so far this year.
The wife and I were thought about going down because the ARCA series just ran Toledo a couple weeks ago. We were thinking about going down there, but I saw the results and he led like it was a 200 lap race and he led like 150 of the 200 laps. I'm like, oh, this is the Ty Gibbs show.
I mean, it doesn't come as a shock to me that Ty's doing all this. Not only in the ARCA series, but in the Xfinity series. I mean, he's in top tier equipment.
Yep.
Grandson of the team owner, like he's gonna get the best stuff they have to offer, and it's not the same as like Austin Dillon at RCR, because when Austin Dillon was in the Xfinity series, he was doing the same thing.
Yep.
I mean, Ty is going to be a really good driver. He's really young. I watched that.
He's only 18.
I watched that special with, or that little segment they had with Jamie McMurray. Even Jamie McMurray said that he's such a respectable kid.
Yeah.
And he's young. He's respectable. He's had a couple incidents here and there, but I mean, it's a young kid. It's going to happen. But he's really. Yeah,
go ahead.
It's really being impressive so far with with the little opportunities he's had so far in the Xfinity series.
No, like I said, he's only 18, so he can't run Daytona or Talladega just yet. So I think next year he'll be in that 54 full time next year for Gibbs. Hopefully they can get a sponsor on that car.
I think he's going to be in a different car because the 54 he can't run full time because of the fact that that's what Kyle Busch runs.
Yeah.
It's when he runs some of the Xfinity races. So I don't know if it's the 18 or the 20. I just think he gets one of those rides next year
with a sponsor on it too.
And we'll see, because I mean, if you think about it, Harrison's got to come up to Cup at some point. I don't think he's necessarily quite ready yet.
No,
Hemrick's a guy that I'm just doing it all based on opinion here, no fact or no discredit to anybody. Hemrick's the guy who's been in Cup for one season, 1.5 seasons, and is kind of coming back to Xfinity to try to get the more experience out of it. It's more of an expendable person, if you want to put it that way, for Gibbs. And it's not saying that Hemrick's not going to have a ride anywhere. There's plenty of opportunities for him in the Xfinity Series, Truck Series, and he might even have an opening in the Cup Series. I just think that Joe Gibbs Racing puts a lot of stock into Ty Gibbs, and that's going to put him in a full-time Xfinity ride come next year.
I do agree with you 100%. Like you said, though, with Hemrick, though, there's could be other opportunities in the Truck Series, and maybe a Cup team comes calling. I mean, look at Anthony Alfredo last year at the Phoenix race. He didn't think he was going to be in a ride. Ends up in a Cup team, lower tier Cup team, but he's still driving. So
yeah. Stage winners in this one, which I didn't write down. I don't know why I didn't write them down. So I don't have the stage winners up, but the top 5 was Ty Gibbs, Austin Cindric, Harrison Burton, Brandon Brown, great run to finish 4th by that team, and Tyler Reddick rounding out your top 5. Standings following Charlotte: Austin Cindric, Justin Allgaier, AJ Allmendinger, Daniel Hemrick, Harrison Burton, Jeb Burton, Myatt Snyder, Justin Haley, Noah Gregson, Jeremy Clements, Brandon Jones, and Michael Annette rounding out the top 12 there. Next race for the Xfinity Series is Mid Ohio this Saturday, 1 o'clock p.m. Eastern on FS1, and I've got to say, seeing 1 o'clock start times is awesome.
Yeah, what the hell happened to those? I mean, where the hell did they go?
We beat that horse to death already.
We have a special guest on the show tonight.
Kitty's behind you, huh?
That's right, man. Miss Kitty.
The Cup Series was in action Sunday, and if you didn't watch, all I got to say is Kyle Larson. That's all you need to know. He was the beginning, he was the middle, he was the end. Kyle Larson, this we can end it there. Top 5? No, I'm kidding.
Yeah, I
No.
mean, other than a couple, the stage-ending cautions. I mean, I think it was by stage 1. There's only 19 cars in the lead lap.
Yeah, Kyle Larson absolutely put an ass kicking on the field on
Yep.
Sunday. And
All 400 cars again look good at these, And then Kyle Busch said it on the on his interview though, or well, no, when he something if they were interviewing him and he's like, I might have to wreck him in order to win him the race, and he hit the nail right on the head.
yeah, I was on a train of thought and
Oh yeah, that happens.
no. So Kyle Larson was absolutely dominant in this race. Hendrick Motorsports as a whole dominant this race.
Oh yeah,
Got the 269th win for Hendrick. So just in the last 3 weeks, it's been a Hendrick winner, I believe. Dover Circuit and now here at Charlotte. Coming up to another track that kind of fits the Hendrick program pretty well. So it's nice. It's nice to see Hendrick back being competitive again and back to the level that they were at for so many years. We saw
that, by the way, this year.
We saw shades of it last year, and now we're seeing it come full circle this year. And you mentioned Kyle Busch. Kyle Busch kind of crashed the Hendrick party a little bit. Wasn't allowing them to have the 1, 2, 3, 4 finish this week with him coming in third. But really, I saw a lot of people complaining that there wasn't any passing or it wasn't entertaining, and yeah, I get that. This fell into the category of what the Coke 600's been for the last 3 years now.
Yep.
Whoever wins the first and second stage, if it's the same guy, they're probably going to win the race. If they lead a majority of the laps, they're probably going to win the race. But how many times did we see Martin Truex Jr. or Kyle Busch come around here and it was flag to flag, they were out in front, no one was touching them. The only thing I had to say is no passing. That one always makes me laugh. There's no passing. Yeah, if you want to watch passing, like Tony Stewart said, you go out to your local interstate, put a chair out, and you just sit there and you can see all the passing you want. Now, I will say, you can't say there wasn't any passing or any good battles, because I watched a second, third, fourth place battle go on for about 50 laps between the 9, the 24, and the 18.
Yep. And then you've seen it at the end during the interview that the 18 and 24 were talking about it, and Byron posted on his Twitter page. He was like, it was so cool, just me and Kyle just talking about how great the racing was between us, and it was. And then you could throw Chase Elliott into the mix, though, and that was some great racing right there. I mean, who's to say? Maybe Kyle Larson doesn't, maybe something, he blew a tire or something like that. Those guys are battling out for the win right there if that's something like that happens. That's why you race,
So back to what I was saying about the non-entertaining part of it. You had lap traffic that was slow and causing problems with the
66.
Causing problems with the leaders the entire race. I can't count how many times the 66 was lapped. The 53 was in there, the 15. I even sent Dalton and yourself a video of Kyle Busch giving the bird to James Davison on that incident they had there. I will say, Ryan, earlier on in the race, I had a problem with lap cars because while we're coming through, they're not moving out of the way. They're not getting a lane up or whatever. They're running the racing line, and they're several laps down, which never makes sense to me for a guy who's that many laps down running a guy who's not even the leader down. But you had mentioned to me that you were getting tired of the lap traffic on an incident with William Byron.
Yeah.
But I've got to say, that's on Byron there. You can't be running too wide, racing a guy, knowing you're coming up on a lap car that's slower and expect them to move out of the way. They got nowhere to go. So it was just a bad mistake on Byron's part to try to make that move where he did. And I know he came over the radio and was upset about it, or Tad Boyd got on the radio and was upset about it.
Was irate.
And Byron kind of collected him, because I think Byron understood that was on him. That was completely on him.
And I've noticed this year, because that's who I listen to, unless he's wrecked, and then I'll switch to somebody else. But Rudy Fugel is a godsend to this team. Like those two, that chemistry between those two is incredible. Like, yeah, Byron was mad about it. So was Tab, but Rudy gets on the radio. He was like, "Come on, guys, get it down. We have a great car. Let's go get it. Let's stay focused." Anytime a slip mistake like that happens, he's always like, "Come on, guys, let's go get it. Stay after it. Let's go." You know, the words of encouragement that you need. Yeah, Chad did that too, but it's just like with Rudy, I think it's clicking with him, and I'm excited. I haven't been this excited in quite some time.
It's the familiarity there between the two that helps out.
Yep.
But I mean, so far it's equated to one win. He's better record for any other crew chief Byron's had so far. You know, in such a short amount of time together. We'll see. We'll see how the rest of the season goes. They're running consistently. Besides Circuit of the Americas, was technically
Would have been another top 10.
his top 15 streak, if you want to call it that now, is still alive. And it's
Been top 10.
it's paying off well for him. A driver who struggled, and really a team that struggled this past weekend, was Ganassi Racing. Ross Chastain early on had a belt issue. A couple laps later, Kurt Busch had a belt issue. They went to the garage to try to fix that one machine, and when it came back out, it went boom.
Yeah, now you see it, now you don't. It went poof.
Yeah, it just had a big cloud of smoke coming up behind it,
I
and
think that was the only on-track caution, wasn't it? Or was it there?
no, I believe that was. It was a technically pretty much a green flag race, if not for the stage breaks. And that was one of the quicker Coke 600 races. I think it came in just barely over 4 hours. I mean, by seconds, it was barely over 4 hours.
Yeah, speaking when we were talking earlier in the show about the Indy 500, one of the quickest Indy 500s too.
So I mean, it was a good day. It's not like you were, you know, I don't know. It's really hard to please certain groups of fans. If you're a Hendrick fan, you're really happy today, you know, and seeing how that race went. If
Been happy all year.
If you're a Kyle Busch fan, you're happy with how the race turned out because you know he brought
That
home a third place finish with that car.
They're getting momentum too. The 18.
But I mean, you mentioned it earlier. The drivers are starting to take notice on Hendrick Motorsports, and another week where they have 3 of the top 5 positions at least.
Yeah.
So
yeah,
go
the
ahead.
48 car didn't start off strong like the 5, 9, and 24 did, but they worked on that car. They worked on that car and 5th place finish. I mean,
yeah. So
yeah, go ahead.
Your stage winners were all Larson, just 1, 2, 3, 4. You just put in Kyle Larson there. Top 5: Kyle Larson, Chase Elliott, Kyle Busch, William Byron, and Alex Bowman. Like I said, rounding out the top 5.
Yeah.
So your standings following Charlotte: Kyle Larson, Martin Truex Jr., Denny Hamlin, Joey Logano, William Byron, Chase Elliott, Ryan Blaney, Alex Bowman, Kyle Busch, Brad Keselowski, Michael McDowell, Christopher Bell, Kevin Harvick, Chris Buescher, Tyler Reddick, Austin Dillon. I want to put a little bit of a notice on the Kevin Harvick car.
All right.
He is, as of right now, he's good to go, you know, above the cut line. It's 115 points. I don't see Kevin Harvick losing 115 points to the cutoff line.
I don't either.
However, we're getting to a point where we could start having surprise winners and potentially a Kevin Harvick-less playoff, which would be, I think, the first time since the introduction of the playoff system that Harvick wouldn't make it.
That'd be interesting to see.
So if you're Stewart Haas Racing, and I'm looking back through this, Kevin Harvick is the only Stewart Haas car in the playoffs right now. That team just keeps getting worse and worse as the weeks tick by.
And you know, I've thought about this too. Why Stewart Haas Racing could be struggling? You gotta think Stewart's starting his new race promotion. I think I may have mentioned it last week on the show, but if I did, I apologize for frequent listeners to our show. But I think, if I'm not mistaken, the Stewart Haas or the Stewart Racing Series is getting ready to start here sometime in the upcoming weeks on CBS, by the way. So good to see CBS getting back onto the racing circuit. I think that's what the problem is. I think you got the higher ups like a Zipadelli and all these other guys that are working for him, worried about the Cup program while Stewart's getting ready for the racing series.
Yeah, I mean, it could be that. I think there's enough guys there though to kind of can keep the Cup Series and Xfinity Series programs going without his help. So I don't necessarily think it's that. I think it all stems from last year when Harvick was winning all the races, and then the penalties started flying in afterwards. Pre-race penalties and whatever. So it's just something to keep an eye on here as we tick closer and closer to the final race before the playoffs. Just one of the guys that got circled. I mean, think about it this way though. Harvick could win. We could have a couple more surprise winners. Michael McDowell could be the odd man looking out. Daytona 500 winner.
Yep.
Where it seemed like it was a sure thing they were finally in the playoffs, it could be the farthest thing from that.
Yeah, that's right. And I mean, you got to think too. What actually after what is it? Sonoma. Then we have the All-Star race, which we still don't understand. But then NBC takes over at Nashville Speedway. A couple guys have run at Nashville before, like a Kyle Busch. I think Denny's run there a couple times. And then it gets, then you got your double dip at Pocono. And then after Pocono, here's another one, another road course, Road America, 4th of July weekend. And I'll stop it right there after that. So, because then, yeah.
Yeah, so, start paying attention to that. That could be a big story moving forward. Next race for the Cup Series is Sonoma this Sunday, 4 o'clock p.m. Eastern on FS1.
And now, does anybody know if they're running the carousel or are they going back?
They are running the carousel.
They're running the carousel.
Yep.
So it's going to be a shorter race instead of the 90-some laps that it normally is?
Yeah, I mean, lap-wise, yes, but distance-wise, it's still going to be...
Oh, yeah, it's going to be a while. But yeah, hey, I wanted to say something. I think it was somebody on this show program said that Hendrick Motorsports was going to be back this year.
What did you say?
I said that Hendrick Motorsports, that the drivers were going to win multiple races. Larson and Bowman have two. We just need the 9 and 24 to get one more, and there we go.
Yeah, I mean, I said that post-championship last year. I said, Hendrick, this is it. Hendrick's back. It's going to be a team to be contending with, but yeah, no, good call.
Yeah.
Moving on, we got Tyro. We got a bunch of news to go over this week, so let's get it.
Yes, we do.
Left side. Pull this left rear fender out, left side.
All right, first bit of news. We have full grandstands coming up. Daytona, Michigan, Talladega, Martinsville, Richmond, and Phoenix all announced full grandstands for the fall races. Full infield, too, I do believe.
Yes, and camping.
So that's pretty cool. I'm just reading like a little list for Daytona. It's full camping. It's the shower facilities will be open. No spacing restrictions. The full fan zones are going to be there. So we're finally getting back to normal.
Yep. I read the same thing about MIS today. Full camping infield and the normal camping. I think it's Xfinity and ARCA on Saturday double dip, full grandstands for that as well. So yeah, as you said, AJ, finally on the up and up to normal.
It looks like Talladega's having the big one back again too.
Oh, no, I might have to be there.
So pretty cool to see there. Nice to see us getting all back to normal. So cool stuff.
I know. I was shocked when it said Michigan. I'm like, say what?
Yeah. A little rumor I saw floating around last week that I just wanted to put out there. Apparently, Kurt Busch is rumored to be the second car at 2311 Racing next year.
Yes, I saw that too.
That's something to kind of pay attention to a little bit.
And like you said, news doesn't get out if they don't want, what you said about the whole thing.
This one, though, is more of a rumor. There was no real credible sources saying it. I saw it floating around. I just wanted to put that out there as a potential. NASCAR updates its at-track COVID protocol starting at Texas. That includes some facets of our operation introduced in the last year will be retain, like, guest access to the garage pit road will be extended significantly, but kept at the level below the pre-pandemic numbers. The access to the starting grid is still restricted. So some of those stuff stays the same. Many aspects of the COVID protocols will be suspended starting at the Texas All-Star Weekend. That's the pre-entry screening. Vendor access to the garages will be restored. Spotters may access both the infield and the perimeter areas. And participants using the driver, owner, coach lot may bring properly credentialed guests into the DO lot. Garage operations will largely return to pre-COVID norms. Pre-race activities will more closely resemble their pre-COVID normals. So, good stuff there.
Yes.
Like I said, or just a little bit ago, we're starting to get back to the normal, what it used to look like. So,
yes,
good stuff there. We have a Cup debut. Ben Rhodes is making his Cup debut this Sunday at Sonoma with Spire Motorsports. So that's
good for Ben.
Good for Ben Rhodes.
Yep.
NASCAR Championship Weekend is returning to Phoenix Raceway in 2022. It's third consecutive year. I know a lot of people are talking about how they'd like to see it moved post 2023 to to like a rotating door of tracks, which, like I've been telling you for the last couple of years now, and I'm all for.
Oh yeah, of course. I mean, decent weather. You think a decent weather state. Maybe Atlanta. I mean, could you do Talladega? I think you could do Talladega in November.
What track?
Talladega in November.
Oh, that'd be so hard to put a championship race at a super speedway, I think.
That'd be fun. Hey, they did it to the last chance to get into the playoffs at Daytona.
That's one thing. It's not like necessarily season ending.
I'd be all for it.
Well, we talked. I was talking a little bit ago about a couple weeks ago the Brad Keselowski to Roush Fenway rumors. I can tell you, and I'm just going to read some of the quotes first, and then I'm going to tell you my thoughts. A question was asked to him, will you be back with Team Penske in 2022? He said, quote, I can't talk about that, but I appreciate you asking. When I can tell you, or when I can, I'll tell you, end of quote. Has it been a distraction with all the rumors or reports? Quote, no, it's not difficult for me. I think I'm in a spot where I'm just head down, finished second last year in points, won 4 races, and looking for one more spot, end quote. And finally, he was asked, when do you think you'll reveal your plans for 2022? Quote, as soon as I'm allowed to, close quote. Now, Roger Penske was asked who'll drive the number 2 Cup car next year, and he said, quote, we really haven't made a decision at this point. We've got a contract with Brad through the end of this year, and we'll make a decision when it's over, close quote. So I read this, and I might just be reading too far into it. So Brad says that he can't talk about his future plans, but when he can tell you, he'll tell you.
Yes.
And then he's asked, when do you think you'll reveal your plans? And he said, as soon as I am allowed to. So you could tell he's already got something in place there. Just by reading those, there's something in place, and he's just not able to announce it yet. Roger Penske, however, said that they've got a contract with Brad through the end of the year, and he'll make the decision when it's over, so which means it's not till the end of the year. So Brad's ready to make an announcement. Roger Penske's not. Like I said a couple weeks ago, news doesn't get out unless you want it to get out.
Yep.
I think it's all but confirmed. Brad Keselowski's going to Roush Fenway with the ownership role as well. So I might be reading too far into it. It kind of just puts the rest of the puzzles, or the rest of the pieces of the puzzle together for me. That kind of confirms that.
But you got to think too. All right. Go ahead.
No. That's pretty much all I got there.
Oh, all right. Well, you got to think too, like how he's answering these questions too, is like, okay, there's definitely something in place for him at Roush. Is, like you said, if it's not meant to get out, it wouldn't have been out in the public for reporters to ask him, because any track he goes to, they're asking, so what's the deal with you and Roush and all this. Like, I think it's in the spot. I think I think you're going to see Cindric in the Cup car. Or no, he's going to the 21. Never mind. But no, I think that's I think it's etched in stone that he's going to Roush.
You know, a name we didn't think about, Ryan. I think when we talked about it last. What if De Benedetto is in the 2 next year?
I could actually see that. I could see that. You know, him because same with the whole Ryan Blaney situation over at Wood Brothers.
Yeah,
I mean, just affiliation to Penske. Yeah,
just a thought.
I wouldn't mind seeing that actually. To be honest with you.
Yeah, that's all I got for news though, Ryan. So
Yeah,
if you got anything else,
no news on my end. I mean, besides the what you mentioned first.
All right.
The fans.
All right, let's get to social media then.
Yep.
Social media update: we are at 2,706 downloads, 410 followers on Twitter, 88 followers on Facebook, 29 subscribers on YouTube. If you're tuning into this live stream, just know, before we upload tomorrow, if we hit 500 followers on the show next week, we are doing a live giveaway to one of our followers. But this week, we are followed by at Chris Hacker _, at Cannon _racing, at NASCAR Blindspot, at LL Chenana. We'll go with that. At Lehman YT, at Scuba Sam _1315, at JBev1789, at Ryan Does Things, and at Kenny Lang 1775. Oh, and at The Slow Restart, and at Good _0526. So thank you all for the follows. A lot of new followers this week. So
Indeed.
Thank you.
I got a quick weather update. I know NASCAR's hoping for no rain this weekend. Saturday 86, Sunday 84, and all sunny both days.
Oh, there you go. You're gonna actually have a dry road course race now.
Yep. Your weather report,
which is not uncommon for Sonoma this time of year. It's gonna look all dusty and all that.
What was it a few years ago where they were running when it was actually green, not the dust?
I don't ever remember it. I don't ever remember it being green.
It might have been in the 80s or something like that. I don't know.
Podcast shoutouts this week are the Lap Traffic Podcast, Tim Racing Podcast, 3 Wide NASCAR Podcast with EG3, Side Draft Podcast, and the Final Lap Weekly. Places you can find us, podcast-wise, you can search our podcast on YouTube, Stitcher, iTunes, Podbean, iHeartRadio, Spotify, Pandora. You can even ask Alexa to play the Loose Lugs Podcast by searching in on your browser, the Loose Lugs Podcast. Make sure you subscribe, follow, turn on that notification bell so you get notified every time we upload new content, and so Ryan can ding.
Ding, 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 ding.
On Twitter, we are at Lugs Podcast. You can tweet us about the show using the hashtag LugsPod, and on Facebook in your search bar, the Loose Lugs Podcast. Ryan, your personal account?
Our Rencola88.
Alrighty, sir. Time for your rant.
All right, guys. Guys, again, I hope everybody had a fantastic Memorial Day weekend. Let us remember why we celebrate for the armed forces, the men and women who protect our country. With that being said, I want to get into what we had touched on earlier in this podcast about the incident with Johnny Sauter at Charlotte. With people I seen on social media complaining about how long it took the safety workers to get to the accident. You got to think too. They send these guys out when the track, they rush out there. They get out there as quickly as they can. To some, it's not quick enough. To others, they're doing what they can. Let us all just realize how hard it is. You got cars going 180, 190 miles an hour. That, I mean, you still got to have it clear. I mean, granted, yeah, the spotters help out the drivers, but you've got to give these workers due to get there as quickly as they do at most of these places. I know a couple of the races I've seen this year that as soon as the car hits the wall, they're out there, they're getting to these, whether it be a truck race, any form of racing, pretty much. These guys and gals are out there as quickly as they can, getting these drivers out of the car, making sure they're all right, getting them loaded into the ambulance and getting them treated at the care center. Yeah, like AJ, you said earlier, you can't please everyone. People's complaining about the passing or the non-passing, and this is basically what it is. If there was an abrupt emergency, like a car rolled over, they would be there in 2 seconds. Yes, I know that accident was bad Friday night, but the guys got there. Johnny Sauter was okay. The driver that he hit, I can't remember who it was. He was all right as well. So let's cut some slack to these guys and gals getting to these accidents.
Very good, sir. Very good.
Thank you.
Alrighty, white flag.
All right.
Okay, keep on the mirrors. In line with you, coming to the white. Only two.
White flag is where we predict the upcoming race weekend. Last week, I got the big win with Kyle Larson, picking Kyle Larson, give me the 2 extra points, and then with Harrison Burton's finish, I won last week 3-1. Ryan got the truck series once Sheldon Creed spun. Otherwise, I think I might have had a sweep.
You did.
I lead the season 31-29, so I go first. On the Xfinity side, Brian, I'm taking AJ Allmendinger.
All right, I'm going Austin Cindric.
On the Cup side, Ryan, I got to go with Chase Elliott.
I figured you were going to go with your boy. So, you know what? I'm thinking here. Good road course. Give me 18 of Kyle Busch.
I'm going for Daniel Suarez as my sleeper.
All right. I like that one. Give me Chris Buescher.
Chris Buescher been running well.
Yes, he has. That 17 car's been running really good.
No, it has. Every week now it seems like he's in the top 10 consistently, even though he doesn't get much time. Oh, that's something. Let's talk about the broadcast a little bit before we get off the show today.
Oh, yeah, I heard a lot of people complaining about that too, eh?
So, I'm going to reiterate one of my tweets from the past weekend. I like the guys on the Fox broadcast. I think they're great together. They really bring a good viewpoint of the race between the three of them. They paint a really good picture. All right? However, why for a key point in the race are we bringing on celebrity guests or putting on odd conversations during the race? This is all a time to be getting cars that are back in the field battling for position deep in the field, that TV time that is just so critical for some of these sponsors to have and some of these teams. When we're taking breaks for this, we're taking away from these underfunded teams that really, really could use this TV time. And that side drives me nuts about it. If you want to bring on celebrity guests, cool and all. MRN does it, but I mean, they talk about the racing going on as they're talking to their guests, and we basically had the race going on in the background on a small screen, and then you had the split screen between the guys in the booth and Jay Leno. Come on. Figure this out. This is, I get it's for an entertainment. It's a TV entertainment deal. It's not how it needs to be done. Bob Levine tweeted out that it's just paraphrasing here about how it's not right to have owners as broadcasters, and I've got to echo his point a little bit. Because how many times when we do the Credit One Banks ones to watch, do we talk about Jeff Gordon? Who does he always pick?
A Hendrick guy.
Hendrick guy. More specifically?
Chase Elliott.
There you go.
Or the 24th.
How, we could have a Hendrick guy running 20th, a couple laps down, but, Jeff Gordon's always going to come in with, oh, but, I wouldn't count this guy out yet. Once he gets his lap back, that car's going to be... He was talking about how if Larson won, he was going to have to go down to victory lane to get in the photo.
And he was right down there, too.
And he was right down there. So...
He got that escort to get down there.
As much as I like the guys in the booth, I have to agree where it's kind of unfair to have owners up there. I will say... Credit to the man, Dale Earnhardt Jr. He calls Xfinity Series races, but have you ever heard him be partial to his team? Ever?
Not one bit. Not one bit.
He doesn't talk about junior motorsports over any other team out there. You know, he truly does call it right down the middle. Even on Sundays, he's got guys, you know, Brad Keselowski, Martin Truex Jr., Chase Elliott, William Byron,
Yep.
guys that came through his race teams, but he does not talk about them more over any other driver in the field. It's something that needs to be looked at. It's something that needs to be toned back, I think, from the Fox side. And I'll just say I'm ready for NBC to take over.
Yeah. Yeah, after the All-Star race, their first race is Nashville, June 20th, if I'm not mistaken. But, you know, I think, AJ, you hit the nail right on the head, though. I mean, when that Chase Elliott, when he won at COTA, there was a picture of Gord right in victory lane with it. Everybody who watches the sport that knows that Jeff Gordon's got part ownership to Hendrick Motorsports. He's going to take over Hendrick Motorsports when Rick Hendrick retires. We all know that. But he was right down there with that in that photo op. Everybody knows that. But, you know, instead of showing favoritism, talk about these other guys. You know, talk about your Daniel Suarez's, your Chase Briscoes, your Tyler Reddicks, who's having a good year. These, the Bubba Wallaces of the world. You know, all this. And that's what I love about Boyer, though. I mean, when he talks to one of his buddies, when they do the, hey, let's go talk to this guy. Hey, Joey, it's Boyer up in the booth, or like Harvick. Like, I forgot what race they talked to Harvick, but him and Harvick were joking around. But when it came down to the race, Boyer doesn't show any of the favoritism that you had mentioned, in my eyes, personally. So.
All right, Ryan, hit him with it.
Yeah, guys, I hope you guys have a great rest of the week. It's Wednesday, although it feels like a Tuesday. We will see you guys at the track. Have a great week.
Special thanks to Patrick and Tony for coming in the chat and talking with us. Thanks for everyone who tuned in. Even if you didn't chat, we appreciate you tuning in live. For everyone listening to this podcast on Thursday or thereafter, thanks for downloading the podcast. We hope you enjoyed it. We hope you tune in again next week. It is Sonoma Mid Ohio weekend. Y'all have fun with it. We'll see you. We're out.